This is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. A fast-moving fire in Bighorn County that spread more than 10 miles in 12 hours, still creating concerns tonight. The Poverty Flats fire sparked yesterday afternoon about 10 miles north of Hardin. By the early hours of this morning, it moved all the way to the Crow Reservation, where it continues to spread tonight. Different estimates have been given of up to 75,000 acres burned, and it's only about 30% contained. Senator Daines' office says FEMA has authorized funds for firefighting expenses for the fire. Q2's David J. joins us now with more on the Poverty Flats fire. David?
Well, Russ, there's a lot of smoke from Hardin on past Crow Agency, and crews are working to protect homes, structures, and livestock near the reservation and at the northern part of the fire near Cottonwood Creek. At this time, no evacuations have been ordered, but we are told the American Red Cross has set up a shelter out at the multi-purpose center. The fire burned grass, sage, and some timber and spread south last night, jumped over Highway 384 or Sarpy Creek Road early this morning. The DNRC and the BIA have helicopters making water drops. There's a shortage of aviation fuel, and that means fewer single-engine air tankers, according to the BIA. On the reservation, firefighters have put up lines to keep the fire away from Dunmore. And we just spoke with Tracy Spang, and he says that the fire did jump the Little Bighorn River, but he expects that crews will have that part of the fire controlled. And a Type 2 incident management team is expected to start overseeing the firefighting at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Russ?
All right, thank you, David J. Reporting fire crews also continue to battle the Devil's Creek fire near Jordan. They've had some success, but they're still concerned the hot and windy conditions could lead to more activity. As of now, operations are going well as crews establish lines all the way down Herman Ridge to the lake. Today's focus is on holding those existing lines and completing the lines to the water on Devil's Creek side. All of Devil's Creek Road remains closed as federal and local resources continue to fight the flames. As of about 3 o'clock this afternoon, that fire had burned nearly 12,000 acres. Now turning to meteorologist Matthew Hidalgo. Smoke is in the air, and Matthew you said a streak has been broken.
Yes, we did not make it to 90 degrees today. Could be due to more smoke moving into the area. Let's take a look at those current conditions. Right now, most of the state is in that moderate to heavy concentration of smoke, and we could see more smoke move into the area. So again, if you have any respiratory issues, make sure that you're limiting your time here tonight and tomorrow. Moving on to the Billings Almanac here, we did reach a high of 88 degrees today. And to put it in perspective, the average high around this time of year is 89 degrees. And yes, we did break a streak here, but we did tie for the 5th longest streak at 13 consecutive days in a row of 90 degrees or hotter. We will have the full forecast in just a bit. Back to you, Russ.
All right, thank you, Matthew. Glad to see that streak end. Well, a Stillwater County man accused of animal cruelty after allegedly underfeeding his herd of cattle is asking the court to return them to his care. Testimony in the hearing lasted hours inside the Stillwater County Courthouse today. Q2's Mitch Legge was there and joins us now with more.
Coming up on Monday, a judge in the 22nd Judicial District Court in Stillwater County will make a decision on whether or not to give back a herd of cattle that was taken away from a Columbus man who is facing 3 counts of aggravated animal cruelty. A warning to some of our sensitive viewers. Some images in the following minutes may be disturbing to some. Near the end of May this year, the Stillwater County Sheriff's Office seized 268 cows, 189 calves, and 6 heifers from the Triple Tree Ranch near Rapplejay. Many in the herd were severely malnourished, according to court testimony. William Myers told the court he is the owner of Triple Tree Ranch and also owns all but 30 of the head of cattle in the herd. Jack Myers faces 3 counts of animal cruelty in a separate court case and allegedly owns that small part of the herd. State licensed veterinarian Dr. Daniel Rowe was with the Stillwater County Sheriff's deputies when authorities got to the ranch property. Rowe said there was plenty of hay right on the other side of a pen containing part of the malnourished herd, but there was hardly any hay left for the cows to actually get to.
And it still goes back to the stacks of hay to me. That shows neglect, non-caring, and complete disregard for an animal's life.
Conversely, Stillwater County Undersheriff Randy Smith said the horses in a separate pen on the property had plenty of hay within 2 circular feeders within easy reach of the horses. Compare that to the cows, some of which were seen eating manure for the little bit of grass it contained, according to testimony.
Yeah, that was my first observation, is there was a lot of hay in for the horses. I requested that Mr. Myers feed the cattle because there was hate present to do that.
Since the herd has been in the county's hands, Rowe testified that they have come back to good health. Jack Myers was not called for questioning, but William was. He said the herd was about to be moved to greener pastures that William either leased or owned. Now that the herd's been in the hands of the county for so long, William said that he's lost a lease on a pasture in West Yellowstone that he's kept for 22 years. He also said that he would have to sell the herd if they came back into his possession, because they've missed the window to have calves. In Columbus, Mitch Laggy, MTN News.
And again, the judge is expected to make a decision Monday on who gets to keep the herd. Well, a teenager is behind bars tonight for the murder of his father in Wyoming. According to the Sheridan County, Wyoming Sheriff's Office, the 15-year-old boy was arrested after he called law enforcement about 4 o'clock this morning from Hardin. On that call, the boy reported that he had killed his father in Dayton, Wyoming. Once deputies arrived on scene, they found a deceased man inside the residence. The teen is being held in Montana, and formal charges will be filed at a later date. The Sheridan County Sheriff's Office in Wyoming and the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation is investigating the case. And a Billings man is now facing charges in the shooting death of his best friend. Kobe Dylan Carr pleaded not guilty at his arraignment today in Billings. The 19-year-old's charged with negligent homicide in the death of Kane Streitz last January on the Rims. Streitz was also 19. According to charging documents, the two were in a car together, and his car was disassembling a semi-automatic handgun and fired, hitting Streitz in the head. Carr admitted to the shooting and called it an accident. He was ordered to have no contact with the victim's family while that case is pending. COVID-19 is spiking once again in Montana. For the first time in over 2 months, the state has pushed over the 1,000 active case mark with 231 new cases today alone. Those 231 cases, the highest in over 5 months, when Montana saw 287 new cases on February 8th of this year. Flathead County has the highest number of active cases with 252, while Yellowstone County currently has 137 active COVID-19 cases. Now, active hospitalizations are also up to 93 tonight. That's nearly double the number of patients seen throughout most of May and June. Statewide, more than 1,700 people have now died from the virus. More than 441,000 Montanans are considered fully vaccinated, which is 48% of the eligible population. Yellowstone County has 46% of the eligible population vaccinated. That's one of the lowest percentages among the state's largest counties. U.S. Senator John Tester says a bipartisan group of senators, including himself, has reached an agreement on a $1 trillion infrastructure bill. In fact, that deal cleared a procedural vote in the Senate early this evening. Tester and 9 other senators, 5 Democrats and 5 Republicans, have been leading the negotiations on that deal for several weeks. The Senate voted 67-32 to begin debating the package later this week. Tester said late today that the bill will upgrade Montana's aging infrastructure and create many good-paying jobs. He also outlined some of the projects in the bill for Montana, including $1 billion to complete all authorized rural water projects in central and north central Montana, $3.5 billion to reduce wildfire risk, including reducing hazardous fuels, and a pilot program to allow truck drivers under the age of 21. Tester said the legislation will provide critical investment in roads, bridges, high-speed internet, airports, and water systems. Well, a follow-up tonight on a story we brought you back in June when a local nonprofit animal shelter found itself in the summer heat with little relief. Ongoing 100-degree days brought on a bit of panic for the staff. As Q2's Andrea Lutz reports, in tonight's Positively Montana, the shelter doesn't have to worry anymore.
It has been an unbearably hot July here in Billings, and that's been especially true for this particular nonprofit where they didn't have any AC inside. That was until a big donation recently came through.
With consecutive days of above 100-degree temperatures.
I walked in here and it was probably 95, close to 100.
Inside the walls of this nonprofit, a mad dash to keep cool.
With all these pets, they just can't handle it.
When we first brought you this story in June, the shelter workers and volunteers were getting as creative as they could with fans and water to keep the pets here comfortable. Then a hero came along.
There's this guy from this heating and cooling place that's going to come put an AC in. And I said, okay, great. Where do we get the AC? And she said, no. He's going to give us the AC and he's going to put it in.
Ashley Burling says once the story ran, phones started ringing and the donations started pouring in. But it was Jason Linday with Patriot Heating and Cooling who took no time at all to install this AC.
Something I felt inside my heart that I had to take care of and get these animals some type of relief.
And he says the donation's not quite done.
And I also got one more system to put in.
Now, when it's 100 degrees outside, it's a cool 77 inside the shelter.
100% better. And I think you could tell walking in, it feels good. The animals feel better, they're more active. You know, they were struggling in the heat.
Ashley says all thanks to the kind heart of a patriot.
I got into the business to help people out.
We do really live in a great community. And we're very blessed to have the community, you know.
In Billings, Andrea Luce, MTN News.
Thank you, Andrea. We're also told the new unit provides heat for in the winter. The shelter currently has roughly 100 cats and dogs, but each month as many as 60 are adopted. Still to come on the MTN 10 o'clock news here on Q2, as if Montana's farmers and ranchers didn't have enough headaches, they now have another one, a grasshopper invasion. Montana Ag Report is coming up next. Then a little later in sports, Hooked on Hill Climbing will meet a local family that is always looking for an adrenaline rush.